welcome to our Plugs Community Connection. I am your host, DJ Kitty Cat, with my sister co-host, Miss Morningstar on WKRA 92.7 FM The Change. If you're looking for the best in news, current events, community outreach programs, and shopping connections, you've come to the right place. We've got a great mix of content and community connections lined up for you this evening, along with special guest interviews. So, grab your favorite drink of choice, turn up the volume, and let's get into it.
Good morning, WKRA 92.7 The Change. It's your morning host, DJ Kitty, here with my co-host, Miss Morningstar, from Our Plugs, the Community Connection. Happy Tuesday. I hope everyone's having a wonderful morning. I hope everyone's already had breakfast or you're in the process of getting your breakfast and you're relaxed and you're ready to tackle today. Today is another day that we've been blessed with. We are always blessed with waking up every morning, and what you do with that blessing is all on you. So I hope you can get you a cup of coffee, some orange juice, some water, something good to satisfy your palate, and come on in and listen to this show. Today we've got some amazing young men that are going to come in and spread their wisdom, and I love to hear them talk every single time we meet. But before we get to those guys, let's say good morning to Mrs. Morningstar, our affirmation queen. Good morning, sis.
Well, hello, everyone. Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. So how's your day going so far?
So far, so good. Can't complain,
Yes.
won't complain. What's the point?
I know that's right. Well, I will say this to all those out in Holly Springs and Memphis, Tennessee that's listening in. I hope you guys take the time to go to our YouTube channel at Our Plugs LLC so you can see these cute shades or glasses that Miss Morningstar is sporting today. I love those, sis. Those are super cute.
Don't they remind you of the ones from the weekend?
Yes, they do.
So I was ready to buy some more, and I would have been getting duplicates. I forgot I got so many glasses, so I was like, "Oh, I got some."
Those are super cute. I like those. I had to go take the
you.
ones that I did get and put my prescription in them
Get
because
the
I
prescriptions in them. Yeah,
can't
I
see,
got my
but
contacts on so I could change up my shades today. I was like,
isn't that cute? Nice,
yeah.
nice.
Thank you.
So before we get started on our conversations today, let's go ahead and let our affirmation queen bless us with some great affirmations. What you got, sis?
All right, so attention, come to the front, leaders, all my inspiring leaders, those who are looking for that leadership foundation. Here are a few affirmations for leadership confidence. I can speak on this because I am in a leadership role. I'm a leader. So these are just some tidbits that you can use in your everyday as you thrive on your adventures in becoming a leader, or if you are in leadership already, you just need some pumping up to do to get your day started. So whether you're managing a team, building a business, or simply just striving to inspire those around you, leadership starts within. And leadership isn't about strategy or decisions, about confidence, vision, and ability. It's about confidence, vision, and ability to stay grounded amidst challenges. Okay. So here are just a few tidbits you guys can use. Make sure you got your sticky notes or remember at least 3 of them. Number 1, I am confident and capable to be a leader. My decisions inspire trust and respect. I have the courage to lead with authenticity. I embrace challenges as opportunities to grow. My confidence inspires those around me. I trust my instinct to make sound decisions. I am prepared for every leadership challenge. I'm a natural leader who inspires others. My vision for the future is clear and achievable. I lead with certainty, clarity in all I do. And I'm going to add one to this. I lead with integrity.
Yes, yes, yes. I love.
Integrity is a big word for me, for
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
Because
It is.
yeah, to be a leader, you must have integrity.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we know and we see what happens when you don't.
Yes, we see it clearly. Yes.
Very clear. Like you putting on a brand new pair of glasses and you've been blind for a while. You see it very
And you
clear.
see it there. See it
Yes,
clear. Yep.
especially now. Well, those are some great, great points for our leaders out there. And if you're
If you're aspiring to become a leader, then jump on it. Kitty must have a little Wi-Fi situation, so make sure you take some of those tidbits and jump into it and focus on your inner leadership and work on those abilities because it's there. It is definitely there. So while we waiting on Kitty to come back and reconnect, we are going to keep it moving. And I'm going to jump past the weather because she has the weather and stuff. So when she's coming back up now.
I'm sorry about that, sis.
That's okay. You know, we
What?
keep it flowing.
Yes, we do. And I know I can always count on you to
Yeah,
pick up
we'll
the
miss a
slack.
beat.
I don't know. I don't understand why people choose to call me and they know I'm on the show.
That's when they
Please
call.
respect
What?
my time. Respect my time. This is important to me.
Respect.
Yeah, respect with the K. My time. You
Oh
know,
boy,
I've got
what's his name said,
D.
put some respect.
Respect. Y'all know I'm talking to my family in Holly Springs and Memphis and on
No,
YouTube and whomever's listening.
we
Don't do
streaming.
that. So, anywho, anyhow, that just threw me off. Like, because don't interrupt me. Anywho,
You
anywho,
got it. You was getting ready to go
anywho.
into
I'm
the beautiful
yes,
weather outside. It's gonna be nice.
yes.
What's today gonna be?
Well, it will be in Holly Springs and Memphis, Tennessee. We may need to go
Okay.
to Holly Springs for a little while because Houston is catching it. Baby, I'm going to
Oh
tell you
boy.
about my story driving home. Okay, yesterday. That was a hot mess. But before we get to that, Holly Springs, I need to come to see y'all today. You guys have a high of 78 and a low of 59, just like I like it. Got about a 7% chance of rain. It's going to be partly cloudy with light winds. Ooh, I need to gas up my car and head that way. Memphis, Tennessee, high of 78, low of 61, 6% chance of rain. It's going to be cloudy and then it's going to get sunny. You've got winds coming out of the east southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, Houston, come to the front of the room. Houston, you come right here because I don't know what's going on with Houston, but yesterday was a tsunami. On my way home, I've never been in a hailstorm ever. And I was in a hailstorm. And I'm quite sure, I don't even know if my car got damaged. All I know is there was nowhere for me to pull over to take cover. But honestly, if you've never been through one, just imagine somebody unloading a clip on you, because that's exactly what I thought it was. I had to look around like, is somebody aiming at us? Are they unloading? And then I noticed these little white pellets and they were just coming. I'm disappointed in you, Houston. Y'all already start with that silly stuff.
And I'm like, that came out of nowhere.
Nowhere.
It
You
came
know,
and went. It did come and go, but
it
it
did
was
come and go.
and it was heavy because
It was
I did go out
heavy.
and check my vehicle because I didn't know. I'm like a little,
Yes.
it could be a glass, little crack or anything. But those,
Anything.
as hard as it was hitting.
Did you know that hail only happens in the summer because it has to happen in hot weather? Because
Mm.
I had to do some research because it threw me off. So today, Houston, hot Houston, it's going to be 80 degrees with a low of 69, another 53% chance of rain. We're looking at cloudy, scattered thunderstorms, severe thunderstorms in the afternoon. Look, now, wait a minute now. There's only so much I can take. I can't take 2 days of
Severe.
hail.
Well,
Severe.
the plants are flourishing. So
Yes,
let's,
they are. Yes, they
and it
are.
ain't the
But
weekend. It ain't the weekend. So let's get this rain out the way and
that's
hope
true.
for a sunny weekend.
Weekend, yes, that's true. Thank you for trying to help me see the positive side.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
redirect it.
But Houston, we do have an issue with mosquitoes now. It's high. We're on red alert. So go ahead and start making sure that you are covering yourself and your children and your pets with repellent because it is high. All this rain, it breeds the mosquitoes. So we have a problem. You see any standing water in a bucket or in anything, like an old flower pot. And I know we're all doing our potting and everything. Turn those pots upside down so that it doesn't pull that water. The pollen count is high in Houston. Also, we're at 98. We're almost at 100%. Woo! We've got grass, ragweed, and tree pollen. Let's see. In Holly Springs, your pollen count is high as well, but it's only tree. No, I'm sorry. It's grass, tree, and ragweed as well. And Memphis, your pollen count is high as well, and it's only grass and trees. So, it's the weather is weathering, and we're gonna get through it. I just pray that there's not another hailstorm. I never want to experience that again. It seriously scared me. I was like,
Yeah, it
what's
was a
going on?
little, I was in my home when I saw it.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa.
Being home is different, but driving
would be, I can imagine, because it's coming down. And
yes.
like, yeah.
Yeah, and it was hailing and flooding at the same time. We're not that happy about that.
Too
We're
much. It's too
a
much.
little bit too much.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and hop right into these news you can use. You go ahead, sis. I have some stories, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and go first.
Okay. So somebody need to take the computer from Trump, okay? Because nighttime is when he does his best writing.
Sundown.
Sarcastic.
Sundowners.
So during sundown, he writes, he wants to make movies in America again.
Man,
he's proposing a Trump Hollywood tariff announcement. Yeah. Yes. And a lot of questions remain about, what is this with the tariffs? It's causing a stir up in Hollywood because what are you proposing tariffs on movies made outside of the U.S.? Somebody needs to really take over, and the 25th Amendment needs to be looked at right now.
It doesn't need to be looked at. It needs to be enacted.
His delusion and cognitive behavior it's been showing, but I'm just waiting for those who are in charge, Congress, to go ahead and enforce this. You are allowing a delusional old man to come up with the most erroneous, craziest thoughts and put them out to the public. Not that long ago, he was dressed like the Pope. He was dressed as the Pope.
He wasn't dressed.
It was an AI.
It was an AI, and he retweeted it or whatever they did.
He retweeted it, and that's what I'm saying.
And it came from the White House, and so it's an official statement.
He retweeted it. That's the point. Like the Pope, how much insult to injury the Pope just passed
disrespect
away. And disrespect. And he thought I thought it was a good idea. Did you really think that was a good idea? This is why I'm proposing that somebody enforce the 25th Amendment and get him up out of here, because he's not stable. He's not stable.
Not stable at all.
So the White House officials are clarifying there's no final decision on these Hollywood tariffs.
Yeah, because
we're looking into it.
No, y'all not. Go sit down somewhere. Y'all not looking into anything. Y'all are trying to pass over and try and gloss over the craziness that's coming out of this man's mouth. Just because you think it doesn't mean you need to speak it. Okay? It doesn't make sense. You're going to put a
I just shake my head. You know, this is daily, people. So we'll wake up tomorrow. It'll be something different.
Y'all bow your eyes and close your head.
Yep, it'll be something different.
Because
so that's in frumpy world, because you know that's the upside down world we speak on. And then in other news, we have a woman who is no alleged here, racist attacks on a child, 5 years old at the park. And when she was confronted about it, you know, she was very nasty. I saw a video, very nasty woman. And but she had set up a GoFundMe and raised over 600 and raised about 600K for herself. Yeah, people donated to her after she called a child racist slurs, a 5-year-old Black boy who's autistic.
Yeah, so that just tells me that people are loving the hate that they're spewing, and they will, you know, and she's gonna need that money because last I checked, she's being sued, and you know, she has she's like Hexeth, you know, she has a drinking problem. You know?
I could tell.
Yeah, I could tell.
You can look at her and tell she has some sort of issues. She's about 36 years old. And she's in Minnesota, Rochester, Minnesota, guys. You know, this is where this took place on April 28th with this poor baby, you know, who probably didn't know what was really going on. You know, what's going on? He's kids being kids on the playground. It happens all the time. Kids are being kids on the playground. That's what kids do. Kids just need redirection, not to be degraded and hit with slurs that he don't even understand.
And then his parents actually raised $341,000. Somebody started, the NAACP started the GoFundMe, and they're going to put his money in a trust that his parents will have, they'll be over. But his parents actually told them to stop the GoFundMe because for what? You know, they're like, you know, that's enough. We appreciate everyone, but that's enough. I'm quite sure they just want to be left alone. Nobody wakes up in the morning and wants to walk this type of life with the hate that's coming from these people who were emboldened by somebody who wants to name the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. And they're about to vote on that in the House this week.
See what I'm saying? Like, what is it? What is this? This upside is not down legislation. This is upside
down.
How
does that even help?
How does that help with the American people who are now every day suffering as prices continue to creep up?
Yeah, and the deal with OPEC, gas prices are about to go sky high.
Yeah,
you know, I mean,
it don't help, y'all.
He said that, you know, you had to be stupid to think that what he said when he was campaigning, he could really do.
Yeah, he did.
And there's still people out here that still believe. It's cognitive
dissonance.
I don't know. It's cognitive. I don't like using negative words, so I'm just going to say it's a disorder. But it's a hot mess at the end of the day.
And somebody needs to step in as his liaison or whatever and take control, because
somebody get granddaddy's phone. Go get Pop's phone. This is getting
out of, cut it off. Turn it on off mode like you do like when you do with your kids, put it in lock mode.
No, just give him a phone, and let him think that he's tweeting, but don't let any tweets go through. Disconnect his phone. Give him his phone like you do a baby. Give him the phone, but don't allow any tweets.
So he can't tweet.
Yeah, you know, just let him play on his phone all day, because that's all he wants to do.
We got to resort back to childhood on certain people as they get into senior citizen status. We got some people, not all, because we have some amazing singers.
Absolutely.
But when they are behaving the way he is, yes, we have to do something. Somebody needs to do something.
Sundowning and hate doesn't work well.
Go ahead, Kitty. I got one more story, but I'm gonna let you go ahead.
Well, I got some good news. I'm gonna talk about Kimberly Wade. She is the new HBCU head volleyball coach over at Mississippi Valley State University, and that is in Ida Bena, Mississippi. I hope I said that right, Holly Springs. Y'all let me know if I said that right. It's Itta-Bena. Ida Bena is how I would pronounce it. But
well,
yes,
congratulations to her.
Congratulations to her, the new head coach. And I love to hear stories like that. I read her story. She's come with a lot of experience. She's going to be a powerhouse for them. So good luck to you, ladies. I'm definitely going to try and follow you throughout the years to see how well you do. But, you know, we got faith in you. We got faith in you. Good job. Good job. And then I've got another one. Now, this one touches my heart. Her name is Dina Baker. She's 16. She's out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. She is a 16-year-old DJ. She started DJing when her late cousin, his name was Jamal. He passed away. He taught her how to DJ when she was about 9 years old. And she kept doing it to feel closer to him, in memory of him. And her dad supported her. And now she goes by DJ Naya. And she does booking events. She does birthday parties. I'm so happy for this young lady. I hope that one day she can hear this, maybe scrolling through YouTube, or maybe she's close enough to hear it. I'm not sure where Hattiesburg is from Holly Springs. I need to take a look at the map, but stuff like that warms my heart because she's 16 years old and she's been doing this since she was a baby. So
come on, you go, Naya,
yes,
and do us a little
come
mix.
On, baby, come on, mix it up for us.
Mix it up, yeah.
Yes. I need some happy stories. You know, I Frumpy's doing enough. I need some good stories.
Yeah.
Some good, some feel good.
We need the good ones because there's enough bad stuff happening. I got a little entertainment news. It's to each his own on celebration. I mean, Rihanna's pregnant again.
That's great.
I'm happy.
I hope she has a girl.
I hope she has her baby girl.
I hope it's a girl.
I hope she gets her baby girl. It looks like her and A$AP Rocky again are expecting the third. Their family is growing. Rihanna is a billionaire. Yeah. So she can do that. Okay. She can take care of them babies. And I'm happy for her. She seems to be happy, finding happiness within her relationship. She was at the Met Gala. She showed off her baby bump. Aww. I gotta go look at the pictures. So they got 2 boys. So I hope she get her girl this time.
Yes, and they've got 2 beautiful.
Ain't they cute little handsome little things?
So cute.
And they are so cute, and they just love on them babies. And they I read in an article before they opted out on babysitter service. Like they just switch off. Like if she has an event, he stays with the kids, and vice versa.
That's how you do it.
And that's
how me and my husband did it.
That's how we did it.
Your baby. Yes.
You don't want everybody. I mean, I'm sure you get that little extra help, but they want to be involved with their kids. That's how Jay-Z and Beyonce do. They are really, they take their kids everywhere with them. Yeah. And that's how it should be.
I don't see anything wrong with
that. You had them.
It's beautiful.
Don't have nobody else raise them. You raise them.
Yes. That's it. If you want them to know you and have that bond, you're going to have to be there and put in the work. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. You are listening to Our Plugs, the community connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break. Stay tuned.
Welcome to a world that sparkles. Sparkle Kicks LLC is your one-stop shop for a wide variety of customized items. So bling out your Crocs. Customize that cutting board. Get you custom dominoes. Stop by and we will customize your order today. We can be found on Etsy and Our Plugs LLC. I'll be waiting to customize your order. All you need to do is place it.
And I'd like for you to do one more thing for me. Hold up 2 fingers. This is you, and this is me, and the space that exists between us should be filled with value.
Equal, a global human initiative, and its value identity model.
Let's be real, being a woman means juggling everything: careers, families, goals, and somehow our health ends up last on the list. But what if your wellness came first? At Nutrition You Design, we believe healthy living shouldn't be complicated. From custom meal plans to one-on-one coaching and specialized lab testing, we're here to help you fuel your body and feel amazing every day. It's not about dieting, it's about thriving. It's about energy, balance, confidence, you. So if you're ready to feel stronger, healthier, and in control of your nutrition, let's do this together. Contact Nutrition You Design today and design a healthier you.
And we are back. You're listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. I'm your morning host, DJ Kitty, here with my sister, Miss Morning Star. And today we are talking to our veterans and we are talking to the leaders in our community. You know, I love Tuesdays so that we can, sit back and hear what they've got going on. Good morning, Ali. How are you? Ali, can you hear me?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good
Good
morning,
morning.
Ali.
Good morning. I can't hear the people in the back. I said good morning.
Good morning, Ali.
All right.
How are you?
Good
Making sure
morning.
everybody's up because I gotta make sure the blood pressure is right. Everything is circulating and doing right. All right. Listen, I'm gonna start off with some news that are not so great, but I'm gonna end with some useful stuff. I think that's the way to go because we can't end with too many bad stuff, and so let's start with the bad stuff. Their leader, and I'm talking about Kim Jong-Trump, right? He wants to have a military parade on his birthday. It's the Army birthday as well. So he wants to have a military parade. He plans to have all these military personnel out there, 6,000 plus soldiers, 150 plus vehicles, helicopters. He wants to do a Kim Jong-un style parade, right? It's going to cost a lot of money. It's going to just tens of millions. I'm sorry.
92 million.
Yeah, that was a lot for the cost. That's what they didn't do last time.
92 to 95 million.
Tens of millions of dollars. Hey,
too much.
We got to cut cost saving. We're spending too much money though, right? We're doing Doge and all that. Yeah. All right. So I mean that speaks for itself. He wants to be what he wants to be, and so it just don't make sense. I'm not even going to say anything about that because this is ridiculous. Now let's move to Pete Hegseth, right? He has directed the Department of Defense to cut the forces by 20% at the top. He's talking about cutting the generals and the general staff positions by 20%.
If you want to give us to Russia, just say that.
Listen, the position he holds is usually reserved for generals. So what he does, gets rid of the people that's going to scarf and know that he's highly unqualified, right? But on top of that, the people who are in those positions are the people that we need in the positions they are in because they are the one with the knowledge base and the strategic mind and the college. I mean, they go through education in uniform to make sure
exactly. It's our GS level.
Yes, and so this is a damage to us. This is a damage to the military, to the country. This is not making us safe, and it's not saving us money because that's what their guise is, right? But this is just go look it up, go research it. We have a drunk at the wheel, literally. I
heard somebody call him Keg Seth.
Keg, yeah, that's why I opened up. Yeah, Keg Seth. Somebody. I won't even say what I want to say, but because we're on air now.
Yeah, we're on the air, so we can't really say what we want to say. But y'all out there in Holly Springs and Memphis, y'all know what we thinking.
So I'm picking up what we putting down.
So that's the bitter pill. So I got some news that some people may not know, and because some of these things are great to know, and some people may be specific for some people. Some people may be finding out this for the first time. A lot of people have veterans in their family, and sometimes veterans pass away based on natural causes. Sometimes they pass away from illness they occur during their service, right? And if that happens, their family members and dependents, they're owed money, right? So I have two clips here I'm going to play. So this is going to give you some information that somebody needs. And I always tell you, write it down, call one of your friends. You know somebody who has a veteran in their family, maybe somebody who have a veteran who passed away in their family. This information they need this information. They need this information. And even if they have veterans in their family, they still need to know this information, because this is gonna benefit the spouses after the veterans are gone and the dependents after the veterans are gone. All right. So let me bring this first one up. This is going to talk about the DIC program. So I have two of them, but let's get into it, and I'll kind of give a little talk after it. Here we go.
We're going to talk today about DIC benefits for widows. Hi, I'm Lori Underwood, an attorney at Woods & Woods. As a spouse of a deceased veteran, you may be eligible for thousands of dollars of benefits from the VA. In order to qualify for these benefits, though, you need to prove that you are a spouse of the veteran. And there are a number of different ways in which you can do that, and that's what we want to talk about right now. A spouse is first in line for DIC benefits when it comes to the veteran's surviving family members. In order to be a qualifying spouse, you need to, number one, either be married to the veteran, or number two, be in what is called a deemed valid marriage to the veteran. What does deemed valid mean? That is determined by common law marriage standards. And you may be wondering, I don't live in a common law marriage state, so would I be eligible for a deemed valid, aka common law marriage standard by the VA? And the answer to that is yes. You do not have to live in a common law marriage state in order to have a deemed valid marriage by the VA. All you need to do, regardless of where you live, is be able to prove to the VA that you had a valid marriage with the veteran, even if you did not undergo legal marriage proceedings. Now, even if you can satisfy the legal marriage requirement or the deemed valid marriage requirement, we have some other requirements we're going to have to show the VA in order for you to meet the eligibility as spousal benefits for DIC. Now, some of those additional requirements are 1 year of the valid marriage or the deemed valid marriage. So you're going to have to be either married to the veteran for a year or holding yourself out as married to the veteran for a year in that deemed valid marriage. The second requirement is that you had to have continuously lived or cohabitated with the veteran for the length of your marriage. Now, there are some caveats to this rule, which we'll discuss in a few minutes, but that is the second additional requirement. The third additional requirement is that you have not remarried to anyone else since the death of the veteran. A remarriage after the death of the veteran will generally be a bar to any DIC benefits you may be eligible for. Under certain circumstances, you may be able to prove an exception for the continuous cohabitation rule. A couple of those circumstances would be living apart for medical reasons. So for medical reasons during your marriage, you and the veteran had to live apart with no intention to desert each other. Another example would be marital discord, where for certain reasons the widow and the veteran may have not been able to get along at points in their marriage, and they did not live together. It has to be shown that the widow was not materially at fault for this marital discord, but that would also be an exception to the continuous cohabitation rule. I do want to note that the monthly DIC benefit for a spouse can generally be increased to compensate for a veteran's qualifying children. So while you may be as a spouse eligible for a monthly benefit, which is statutorily set, you may be eligible for more if you have surviving children of the veteran who are still dependent on you. If you meet those requirements, that you're a spouse, you were valid in a valid marriage with the veteran or a deemed valid marriage with the veteran, if you have been married for at least a year prior to the veteran's death, if you continuously cohabitated with the veteran, and you have not remarried since the veteran's death, then you have a claim for DIC.
Yeah, so this is important, right? These are the three things that are important. I'm going to get into some other information that is also important, how you get the DIC, right? But this is important. Like I said, if you have family members who are veterans and they have a death in the family, and you need to make sure that you know these things. you may not need it yourself, but you know somebody who has a family member who has a veteran, and they may not have passes yet. So either if they're passed or they're here, you need to have this information. You need to pass it on so the survivors and the dependents can benefit. Right, 1 year marriage, right? Continuous living. You heard about the stipulation. There is some flexibility with that. You have to prove why you guys are not living together. All this good stuff. And no remarriage since the death of a veteran. So if you have a veteran that has passed and you are the spouse and you get remarried, you just took away your DIC, right? So you need to know these things because life be lifing and things happen, but these rules are in place. So you might want to have a cohabitation so you could get the benefits. The benefits, I was looking it up, about $1,600 per month. All right. And so let's get into how we get the DIC. And so I'm pretty sure, I see DJ Kitty, she might have some questions. But
as the widow of a veteran or a qualifying family member of the veteran, you may have questions about how to get DIC benefits. Hi, I'm Lori Underwood, an attorney at Woods & Woods. There are several different rules that the VA has established regarding eligibility for DIC. I'm going to talk about 4 rules, 3 of them pretty quickly. There's a 5-year rule, a 10-year rule, and a 1-year rule. The 10-year rule establishes that any veteran who was entitled to a totally disabling service-connected condition continuously 10 years before their death will be eligible for DIC benefits. So that means the veteran was receiving 100% service connection for a disabling condition 10 years before their death. And when I say the veteran is eligible for DIC benefits, that means you as the widow is eligible to receive that DIC compensation benefit. And the 5-year rule is similar to the 10-year rule in that the veteran had to be service connected for a totally disabling condition. However, it only needs to be 5 years if the veteran was service connected immediately post discharge and was service connected for 5 years prior to death. If the veteran meets that condition, then DIC benefits are warranted. We also have a 1-year rule. A 1-year rule establishes that a veteran was a prisoner of war and was receiving a totally disabling service connected condition at least 1 year prior to death. If your veteran meets that standard, then you're also eligible for DIC. So those are 3 fast, hard rules for eligibility to DIC, but I said there's a 4th what we're going to talk about, and that's what I want to get into now, which is when a veteran's death is resulting from a service-connected condition. There's several different ways that you would have to go about proving this and several different standards that you would need to meet. Number 1, you need to show that a veteran's service-connected condition is the principal or primary cause of death. That service-connected condition need to have contributed substantially and materially to the veteran's cause of death. DIC can also be awarded where it's shown that the veteran's service-connected condition was an aggravator to the primary or contributory cause of death. So maybe the cause of death was something that was not service-connected. However, it would not have resulted in death had it not been aggravated for the veteran's service-connected condition. To better illustrate the aggravation point, I want to read a passage from the Veterans Benefits Manual, which I think really explains this really well. The court has stated that death can be service-connected based on a non-service-connected disability if it can be shown that the non-service-connected disability was aggravated to the degree that it contributed substantially or materially to the veteran's death, combined to cause the veteran's death, or aided assistance to the death. Now, in order to meet this requirement, the court further explained that an unbroken chain between a service-connected disability and the condition that caused the veteran's death must be present. For example, a veteran's cause of death was cirrhosis, which was not service-connected, and his service-connected condition was PTSD. DIC can be awarded where it was shown that the veteran's service-connected PTSD aggravated his non-service-connected alcoholism, which resulted in cirrhosis and caused his death. At this point, you may be thinking, my spouse wasn't service-connected for anything, so I'm out of luck on DIC benefits. And that is not correct. Your spouse did not have to be service connected for any conditions at the time of death in order to make you eligible for DIC benefits. You can still win this claim. If your spouse was not service connected at the time of death, there are two things you're going to have to prove to the VA in order to make you eligible for DIC benefits. The first thing you're going to have to do is prove the service connection of the condition that resulted in the veteran's death. This can be done posthumously. After you show that condition was service connected, then you're going to have to show the VA that that condition caused the veteran's death. If the veteran dies in service, you are eligible for DIC benefits. So how do you get them? Other than proving all the things that we just mentioned, you need to file your claim ASAP, and that is VA Form 21535. Now, there is no time limit to file for DIC benefits. It can be done at any time after a veteran's death. But in order to preserve the earliest effective date, you need to get that application in within 1 year of the veteran's death. If you get the application in within 1 year, then the claim date will relate back to the veteran's death. If you do it at any point in time after the 1 year, then the date of your claim will become the claim date. There are a couple of exceptions to this rule. If you applied for Social Security survivor's benefits on or after January 1st of 1957, that should be deemed to be a claim for DIC. Additionally, if you applied for death pension through the VA, but not DIC, that should also be considered a claim for DIC. If you have any questions about your eligibility or how to win your DIC claim,
Yeah. So I'm going.
Ali, we lost you. We can't hear anything.
Yeah, I guess I muted
Here we
myself and I unmuted myself. So the form, the actual form is VA Form 21 Papa -534EZ. So that is actually the form. The number changed slightly. So that is, once again, I put it in the chat. 21 Papa. That's Papa for P for Papa. -534EZ, Echo Zulu, right? That is the form you want to use to file. So you can do it three ways. You could go on va.gov, you could file the form itself, and then you could go in person. So but when you file the form itself, you could mail it in, and then you could go in person. So those are the three ways: online, mail, in person. So you heard about the stipulation they had for the most part, you wanted to make sure that even if the veteran passed away, if it resulted in a service-connected issue that they had, you're eligible, right? So not because they unalive or died by something that was not a service-connected claim, or a service-connected issue could be put in after to get your claim pushed through. But you want to file, like they said, a year within to make sure you have that process sped up. And so the spouses are primary first, and then dependents are secondary in terms of who gets the benefits. All right. And some of these stuff can be complicated, but you want to make sure that you do these things and you know the rule, especially when it comes to the marriage part of it, because spouse may be terminally ill for years and years and years, and then you get married even before, right after they pass. Now you just took yourself off the list of being eligible for DIC.
Yeah.
And if you don't know it, you're just in a bad place. But go ahead.
So let me try and make sense of this, what you just explained. So if it has to be service related for these benefits to actually apply. So if a veteran gets in a car accident and he's gone to be with the ancestors, and it's not service related because it's just a car accident, then these specific benefits for DIC, they don't apply, correct?
So they can get in a car accident, right? But if they didn't unalive, and because if they did any of the service connected issues they have help cause their death?
I was gonna say, it said if it's connected, like, so it doesn't have to be directly the service
Right.
connect, but if something happens which irritates the connection portion,
Made it work, sped it up, or
right,
yeah.
cause
So,
you even
the
more
window is
trauma.
open. Yeah. So even if it's not directly a service connected issue, but if they die and the service connected issue contributed to their death, then you're eligible.
Okay.
Good
I
news.
wish I had known this when my mother was still living, because I know my mother she received my dad's death benefits, but this is the first I've ever even heard of DIC.
Yep.
And
Form.
my father's passing was service related.
Mm-hmm. So you
Yeah.
might want to look into it, right? Look into it,
I
because
mean, I can, but she's already passed and he's passed, so I can't see them saying anything to us as their children, even though we do have a claim out as well because of our birth defects.
right. But you may be eligible for the benefits from him,
Really?
because she's first in line, and then the dependents and the dependents are next in line.
The kids?
Yes.
But we're over 18.
I'm just saying, let them tell you no.
Okay.
Why
I didn't even think about
Why are
it.
you telling yourself no?
I don't know, but I bet you I will get on va.gov and find out.
Yes,
I
and
sure will.
fill that form out, and yeah, you get your claim looked at. Let them tell you the ins and outs, because stuff changes and stuff, or like even the form. You saw the form has changed,
Yeah,
so
the
things
form
change,
changed.
right? And it tends to get better the further away we go.
Yeah.
If it's up to the Democrats, it'll be more better, but that's another story for another day. But definitely, it don't hurt for you to go on va.gov
And apply.
Yes.
So let me ask you, Ali, along with the benefits for our veterans who are deserving, let me ask, Trump is he trying to take away some of those benefits?
Yeah.
Is that am I reading this correctly?
They don't. So there's if you go on TikTok and some of the social media, some people are saying veterans are making too much money. They're making thousands and thousands, and they're just making tens of thousands of money. Yeah, they have people they are saying that, and it's just not true. But they're trying to cut the support from what veterans. So if they don't cut the money directly, they're trying to cut the support, right? So if veterans don't get the support they need to help them stay alive, they're gonna die. So hence they are saving money, because now that veteran is not getting any benefits from VA, so they just save some money. The less veterans get seen, the less money they
If I'm
get.
mistaken, this was something that was part of Project 2025 that they're trying to initiate, especially with our service-connected veterans that receive, maybe 100%, but they are still able to work. And a lot of them still choose to work, even after retirement. Yeah. People still choose to go to work and receive their 100%, as they should be able to.
Being disabled is not only physical.
It's not all physical.
Yes, exactly. It's not all physical.
It's something, and a lot of them opt to come work at the VA hospital because it's a lot of administration work. It's a lot of jobs that they can do. So hence why I have so many friends that are veterans, because they are fully retired, 100%, but they work.
Yeah. A lot of veterans, if they don't have anything to do as well, guess what they do?
Yeah. It's Idle Minds and Devil's Workshop. Idle Minds and Devil's Workshop.
They get out and volunteer. They do all kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Gotta stay busy.
But to your question about cutting the benefits, yes, they want to cut veterans' benefits.
So,
matter of fact, they don't even vote for. It's a struggle to get veteran benefits passed through Congress and the Senate because of the Republicans. They don't want to pass it. They only say, they're for the military, but they're not for supporting the military. Just like how they with a child, they're for the birth, but they're not for supporting the child. And that's going to be me for right now. I appreciate everybody. Listen, make sure you look into this stuff, folks. Make sure that you get with folks who are maybe affected by this and share the information. DIC form 21 Papa -3 for Echo Zulu. All right. I appreciate everybody coming through. I hope somebody gets something out of it. And we are here to provide information and make sure that we share the knowledge. So,
Well,
salute to all the
Ali,
veterans out there.
thank you so much for always coming through every Tuesday to give us knowledge. It's truly appreciated. I know our veterans, they tune in because they need to hear from their brother in arms. And I will say this, Fat Nixon don't touch our veterans, nothing. Okay. No, don't do it. And last I heard, you guys, that this administration wants to give a $42,000 bonus for all of ICE agents, but you want to touch our veterans. We're not having it. We're not having it. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. Don't mess with our veterans. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Hey guys, yes, this is my nonprofit, Carter's Caring Hands. And what my nonprofit does, we give fresh food boxes to those families in need that's struggling to keep food on their tables. We also go out into the unhoused community, give out care bags here in the Kalamazoo, Michigan area. So if you'd like to donate to the cause, please go to www.carterscaringhands.com and donate whatever you can, so we together can uplift those families that's struggling to keep food on their tables. Highly appreciate it. God bless.
Timeless elegance. Redefine class. Welcome to Morningstar Boutique by Tam, where fashion at its finest, fashion that brings out your inner cuteness, and styles that make you go, oh girl, where you get that from? Check me out at www.morningstarboutique.com or at ourplugsllc.com. Can't wait to see you.
Opa May Simplistic Beauty is hair care and skincare in a bottle. Take a quick survey and let us design your own formula. Go to ourplugs.com, look for Opa May Simplistic Beauty, and we can get your formula out to you as soon as possible. We hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day.
w.saysomething.biz, and let's say something together.
And we are back. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. That was really informative. I love when Ali comes up and talks about veterans. It just makes me feel, safe because he's so knowledgeable, and it's what our veterans need and deserve. We have to protect our vets just like they protected us. They protected us when we were asleep in our beds, when we were going about our day, living our lives. They were protecting this country.
Life on the line. They put
life
their
on
lives
the line.
on the line for us. And
Every day.
I love this part of the show too. I love Veterans Voice. You know how veterans hold a dear place to both of us.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I service them daily, and I respect them. So they deserve to be with their health care secure, their money secure, and no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
They should actually be first.
Yeah.
If you think about it, they're the protectors of this country. They took an oath to defend this country from both foreign and domestic.
Yep.
Biden said, remember your oath. Veterans, if you're out there listening, please remember your oath, because we may have to call on you again to stand up once again, but this time you won't be standing by yourself. It'll be all of us standing, because we don't have time anymore. If you come for our veterans, that's game over. You're coming for our security. Yeah,
I think so. Let's bring our mentors, our leaders, and mentors,
our leaders on up.
Stage.
Hey guys, happy Tuesday, Reggie. Happy Tuesday, DC.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. How y'all doing?
Great.
That's awesome. Reggie, how are you?
I am great. Thanks for asking, DJ Kitty and Miss Morningstar, Brother Daryl. Just happy to be amongst my some of my most favorite people in the world.
Yeah, family.
Absolutely.
So I know, I think that we're picking back up on our same conversation that we've been having, and I think it's critical that we continue this conversation. I for one am digging it, because we can't just talk about it and just move on. Some things we have to do a deep dive into. So with that being said, I'm a hush. And I'm gonna turn the floor over to you beautiful gentlemen, and let you guys take it away.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing I'd like to say, ladies, is congratulations on a fantastic job at the Houston Black Expo.
Absolutely.
We've been
I
tracking
second
that
that.
for a couple of days now, and you guys killed it. So I just want to say, I know we've been talking on the back channel about how that went, and again, I feel proud to be associated with you two out there. Living what you talk, not just talking a mean game. You guys are in the trenches and making things happen. So I just wanted to acknowledge that to
Thank you,
the
DC.
listening audience, to let them know, we got two powerful people here that are definitely working and striving to make change. So I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Thank you, DC. I appreciate that.
Very much appreciated, DC. Teamwork made the dream work. You
Every
got to
time.
do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And I echo that sentiment.
Yeah.
absolutely. I think we're on a trilogy. This is our third time. It seems like every time we bridge this conversation, we run out of time. It gets so in depth. We run out of time. So I'm gonna let Mr. Reggie pick it up, and we'll jump in at the appropriate time.
Absolutely.
Well, again, I just thank you, Brother DC, and happy Tuesday to the WKRA listening audience. I just think it's imperative that we move as a unit, as a collective unit within our communities and just as a humanity, because it just doesn't feel to me like there's really any valid effort. Again, I know that we're seeing protests. I know that people marched on, what was it, April 5th, and then again on May 1st for Workers' Day. And all of those things are wonderful to see, the energy that is out there. But again, where is the concise effort being placed in, ensuring that we can be safe? And so, a couple of broadcasts ago, I kind of floated a couple of ideas that we have been discussing with respect to, number one, if there is such a thing, a special session with our governors for them to stop sending our tax dollars to Washington, to which it is enabling them to use that money against us and to essentially abuse us. And then the other component that we were discussing is community gardens. And, if we find ourselves in a situation where food is disappearing from our grocery shelves, and our supply lines are being adversely affected to the point where we can't get the things that we need, then how do we navigate those spaces as a community, as a group? How do we ensure ourselves outside of Congress, outside of the legislative bodies, outside of the administration? How do we ensure that we can be safe? And we're talking about community gardens and coming up with some plans, for community garden growers and also individuals who own livestock. And we were kind of talking about, kind of erecting our own kind of infrastructure, again, so that we can ensure that we can, navigate our way through any adversity that, that ends up confronting us in this current moment of uncertainty.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I know that, well, one of the things that I've been focused on is truly trying to understand, because I'm a grower, but I'm a grower of plants. I know how to grow vegetables, but I haven't grown vegetables in a long time. But I have gotten I just got my greenhouse in, and my husband's going to put it together on Wednesday. Fingers crossed, y'all. Let's fingers crossed that Mr. DJ goes ahead and puts my greenhouse together. And then I'm going to go ahead and start my planting. But my roots are in Mississippi. That's where my dad's family is from. That's where he was born and raised until he was 16, I believe. So, and I have a couple of older cousins, like third cousins. And I'm going to have to give a call to them, because there's something about that Mississippi dirt that makes sure that those greens come out right. So I may have to take a trip to Mississippi and talk to my family, because I truly, really and truly do want to do this community garden. I think that it's necessary. It's not for, it's not to be cute or anything. It's a need, you know. I When we were at the Port of Houston, or at the Texas Black Expo, we met two people from the Port of Houston, and they have programs that help young adults learn how to become maritime employees, whether it's bringing in the barges, whether it's admin work, whether it's going out on, what do you call those platforms in the ocean? Rigs, oil rigs.
Rigs, yeah.
Yeah. And I have I have both of their cards, but I'm going to reach out just to see for myself, because they're there, what's going on. And being in Houston, I know a lot of people who work at the port. Now, the people that I've talked to, I'm just going to tell it like it is. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. We're going to have to make a way to make sure that we're fed, because I know that Frumpy has been on the phone trying to get China to talk to him, and they won't talk to him. So all those products that we bought, X out the material things, that's important, but not so much, because you can live without it. But I'm talking about the food and what's necessary to grow our food. That comes from China. So if we're not...
DJ Kitty, I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No. I want you to go ahead, Reggie.
So DJ Kitty, so what I was thinking is kind of a 3-tier kind of plan. One would be the growers, which is the fruits and vegetables. The second one would be the livestock. And then the third tier would be basically the supporters of both the contributors, like, for example, me. So I don't have a community garden, neither do I know how to, basically facilitate one. But I could be a person who could contribute into that network, into that infrastructure, monetarily, to support the growers and the livestock facilitators, such that, once there is a need in my home or in my community for those food and vegetables and meat resources, then, again, I've already been paying into it. So of course, it's something that I can then draw from. So, I think that's kind of the core plan. And obviously, I'm curious to hear what you guys think. But if we can just begin to, I believe, invite people in so that we can begin to identify where these, interested parties are who would like to come together to create this infrastructure, then we can begin to kind of, look at next steps, and we can begin to kind of build out and, galvanize around, creating this safety net for ourselves.
I think that's a good idea. What do you think, Ms. Morningstar?
Oh, I love it. I think that I've been speaking into it lately since we've all talked about it. I just keep putting it out into the atmosphere. different people. And I think we can even go as far as, eventually incorporating some teenagers into it, maybe some type of summer internship that they would do
Yes.
with growing, learning how to agriculture, something kind of
Mm-hmm.
teaching them along the way. My husband has been sharing good information that he's learning, because he's the person in our home that's doing the planning and the growing and watching his vegetables and things like that. So he's been really dissecting into it and learning
Mm-hmm.
from different people. And I think if we can reach out, unify and reach out to different people, there's a lot of good information on TikTok, a lot of people growing and people
Mm-hmm.
who've been doing it for years. If we can link up with these entities, get some more education and some more knowledge of things, I think we'll be great at it. I think we don't necessarily, I told this in my live, we're not looking right now to buy some land at this moment. Right now we're all pretty much privately going to do it at home, but we're going to
Right.
share amongst each other like a community,
Right.
because there's been times people have, and that's what you might have hesitation, because some people were sucked into a bad deal with the community and they were
Right.
sending money and not,
Right.
And for what?
it was being
Mm-hmm.
lied to, saying,
Right.
oh yeah, we're getting this garden, it's going and this and that, and people were lied to. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to be careful of how we introduce it to people,
Very true.
make it tangible, make it something that they can touch themselves as well. Hey, you
Mm-hmm.
can be part of this, just start growing and show us what you
Yes.
got, and then we can even put a teams group, like in Signal, that's called the Growing Family or something,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
where everybody
Mm-hmm.
can share tips and communicate that way. It's free for Signal, so we can utilize
Exactly.
that to show videos and different things of what you did, what potting soil you used, whatever, just so we can, kind of
Grow
all be on,
together.
run
Yeah.
together and get the information. And the more educated people who are good at this, we can reach out to, just like we did this weekend, Saturday. We met a lot of good people. We
Yeah.
can do it again, and we need
Yeah.
everybody to do it.
Yeah.
Everybody to do it. So I think it's a great idea.
I do
Yeah, I
too.
love your. Excuse me, DJK. No, I love that idea. And to your point, Miss Morningstar, yeah, I think it's best to start out super small, not looking at buying any land, but everyone
Yeah,
grow in their respective, their respective backyards, and just to build it out that way. Because again, the last thing that we need is another, traumatizing experience where,
right.
someone is being misled. We don't need that.
No.
We
Yeah.
need to go forward. We don't need to go backwards. So I'm sorry, DJ Kitty.
No, you are fine. You are always fine, Reggie. We're just all trying to brainstorm this out. But I think that starting the backyard garden, because that's a good name, the backyard garden
Hmm. I love that.
would be a tipping point. So you know me. I hear something and I'm gonna run with it. Let me see what I can do about
I might just start, yeah, we might just start advertising. Join the backyard
advertising.
garden. Here's,
Join the
Yeah.
backyard garden.
reach
Yeah.
out to us, get on our Signal channel. It's free to join the backyard
Hmm.
garden and be
Hmm.
able to
Well,
share.
they can actually get on our plugs and we can put them in there as a I'll just create another membership plan for them that's free
Good.
Hmm.
for the backyard garden.
What
Yeah,
do you think, DC?
well,
What do you think?
I'll tell you what's happening here in the city where I'm at, because there's a lot of vacant land due to uh, houses being cleared. What neighborhoods are doing is they're doing co-ops.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So collectively, they're growing the neighborhood garden, and everybody participates in the care of the garden, and then once um, the products are produced, people of the neighborhood are free to go into the garden and take what they need. And again, take what you need, not in
Yeah.
excess of what you need.
Need.
Exactly. And then anything that's of excess, they offer it to the public. And that's going on in many, many neighborhoods here
It is.
in Detroit. So it's definitely a tangible, reachable goal. Um, Again, I'm sure that in most communities it's happening. It's just a matter of us tapping into that resource to connect with the people that are out there doing it. And like again, we can start our own. Like you said, I like the fact of the neighborhood, the backyard garden. I like that concept.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
And I think it's definitely something that's reachable and tangible. I'm going to actually start my own here pretty soon. I'm just waiting on. I ordered the above ground planters.
Planners, yeah.
And I'm going to start off small just to see, what I can produce and how well I can cultivate my first attempt at
Start with
growing my
tomato.
own. Yeah,
You like
growing my own food.
tomatoes?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, start with tomatoes
Absolutely.
and cucumbers. They're the easiest ones. The one thing about plants, and it doesn't matter if you're growing food or it's just vegetation, they just love, they have to be sun, but not direct sunlight, because you'll burn them up. Well, Houston weather, you'll burn them up, You leave it, you don't water in the morning, and I'm talking about Houston. So every different state has to look at what's going on in their environment. In Houston, we don't water in the morning, we water in the evenings, and then let the plants soak that up, because if you water in the morning, it's going to dry them out.
Right.
I have probably about maybe 8 or 9 plants in my house. Don't judge me, but I prune once a week. That's meaning clearing out any of the dead leaves. I spray my plants, I talk to my plants, and I keep their dirt filled. So like every 3 months, I put another layer on, and then I soak it down, not muddy, but I just soak it down and make sure that my plants have enough so they'll grow, because the nutrients in the dirt is what's fueling them. Just like eating, we eat beef or a salad. It's giving them the fuel. The water's giving them the nutrients they need, and then the sunlight is helping them to grow. But every few months, you can't just buy a plant and put it in the corner and just water it. You got to feed it.
Right.
You got to keep giving it dirt, because it's going to literally eat the dirt basically, and it helps it to grow. So it's the same with your vegetables. It's something like dealing with plants and vegetation is kind of like having kids. You got to go
Exactly.
and make sure
They
that
need
it's
attention.
growing.
They need attention.
Yeah. Is Frank always out there checking on his plants every day?
All the time. In the evening, he spends a lot
Yes.
of time checking on them. And
It feels
making sure
good to watch it grow.
It does.
It really
seeing
does.
what process they're at.
Yes. And if you
You know
have
what
questions
else?
about it, just YouTube.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Reggie.
You know what else, DJ Kitty, to your point, you said you talk to your plants. I have a Phoenix palm that I bought recently. And you know what I've been doing? I've not only talked to the palm, but I actually play music for it a couple of times a day.
And it works.
Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, I literally noticed because everything is vibration. I mean, think about it. Hearing my voice, music is vibration. Vibration is the language of the universe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and everything is vibration. So, we love vibration, in the form of sound, let there be light, sound created, all living things, so plants respond, because they're living things. They respond to vibration, your voice, to music, to both, to energy, as we all do. And so
I have a trick that I want you guys to try. So I know, Miss Morningstar, I don't know if you have any live plants in your house, But if you have a live plant in your house, and you guys out there listening in, if you have a live plant in your house, go and talk to your plant and watch. Don't get too close because the wind out from your breath will move it. But talk to your plant and watch the leaves move. Because when you talk to your plants, and you have to really just pay attention and just watch, when you talk to your plants, they move because they're coming towards the sound
they
they're hearing.
feel the vibration. Yep.
Yeah.
And to your point, DJ Kitty, that literally happened with my Phoenix palm on Friday. I went out and there's this one particular song, and it was really phenomenal. It was really phenomenal. And, and I was like, what? You could just see, you could see a physical response. There was no low wind. There was no wind happening. And I was just like, wow, but again, they're living things. And a lot of times we don't think of them that way, but they are, and so all living things respond to vibration.
Yeah. I know, some people may think that that's crazy, but if you think just try it.
I've heard that before, so
do.
I don't think it's crazy at all. I witnessed it, people doing that, and the growth of their plants. So
well, I have a peace lily that my cousin bought me for my mother when she passed, and it's huge. That's the one that's in my living room. It's huge. It's about as big as, it's huge. And I put it in a big pot, and we set it where her recliner was at. And I called her Opal May. That's my mother's name. And I feed her every week. Sometimes I give her a little bit more water when I see that her leaves are asking for it. But I talked to her. And, I know it sounds crazy or whatever, but,
It's not. It's actually scientific.
It's very therapeutic. I see.
If you guys go to YouTube, there's some scientific studies. I think it was either a Japanese scientist or a Chinese scientist. Don't quote me on that. But he did these studies on water where he would have a group say negative words to the container of water and positive words to a different container of water. And then when they froze the water, they would study the crystals. And the water that had the positive affirmations formed these beautiful crystals. They were all perfect and clear and transparent. And the crystals of the water that once frozen that received the negative vibration or the negative words formed all of these dark, like deformed. So this is literally, vibration is literally, it's not crazy. It's scientific, you guys. Yeah. Sound is a real thing, and it does have a real direct impact.
Well, we have a plan, and I want to thank you guys for coming up. And we will continue the work and continue to talk, and give me some time to put this together, and we'll revisit this. I'm gonna send it to you guys, and we'll have meetings about this before we introduce it to the public. We've got about 15 seconds. I want you guys to say, tell the audience and our listeners a few words, just a few, because we gotta wrap. So go ahead, DC.
Hey, just real quick to the WKRA listening audience. Hey, if it's a farmer out there listening to this broadcast, we'd love to have you on the show to talk to you about gardening and the things that you need. So reach out, ourplugs.com. Love to get a community farmer on the show.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Reg.
Just the power of your presence. Just remember that much persistence breaks down strong resistance. If you keep showing up, it's an old advertising phrase, which is why they play the same music on the radio over and over and over again. It's because even if you don't like the song, after you hear it 1,000 times, it will literally rewire your emotional response, and you'll be like, I hate that song. And then 1,000 times later, you'll be like, that's my jam. It really does work. So just keep showing up. Let's just stay consistent, because things will change the more consistent we stay.
All right. Thank you so much, Reggie. Go ahead, Miss Morningstar.
Y'all have a good one. Make sure if you want to come check us out, go to Our Plugs LLC on YouTube. We are here in the evenings, 6:30 Central Time. Thank you, chat. Thank you, WKRA, and Memphis and Mississippi. Y'all have a great day.
Have a great day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Hey, y'all. It's DJ Kitty.
And Miss Morningstar.
We are here from Our Plugs, the Community Connection, and we will be your new morning host on WKRA 92.7 The Change.
Yes, we will be broadcasting Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time.
We'll also be streaming on YouTube at Our Plugs LLC.
Be sure to tune in.
Hey, y'all. It's DJ